Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Three Men Press, where three of the brightest minds have come together in order for us to have conversations. Remember, this is not a place where we are right. It's not a place where we're coming here to tell you the lay of the land. It's a place where we can put things on the table so that we can have better discussions about this football that we love. Some of those discussions tend to be uncomfortable. Some of them might be, a little bit shaky, but as long as we are having conversations, I think it's good for our football. I've got football Telefang on this side.
Of course.
Petabo coach, ngapu coach Piicasso. Lama chezi. And of course, if you're looking for me, Overthinking Football, gents, we're winding down. We're going into the AFCON.
Yeah.
We're going to have a very big break.
Yes.
Some people are saying that this time is the best time for you to shake things up a little bit. Already, we've seen Durban City getting rid of Gavin Hunt. And there's been questions about some of the coaches that are around the league. You know, Chiefs is allegedly being coached by a translator and an assistant. Is this the best time for you to shake things up? And I want us to step into our executive. Let's kabari coach today. But the executive.
So quickly, just the break. How long is the break? When it starts?
It's started for it started for all the teams this week.
Yes.
Pirates is going to be the last game. There's nothing this weekend.
Yes.
And from that point on, from literally the 8th up until January 20 something, it's going to be break.
Okay, so no PSL
some teams
action.
aren't going to AFCON. They don't have people. So it could be the best time to work with people. January window.
Look, usually in Europe, they wait for the international break before they fire somebody. So the international break is usually the time where you think to yourself, are you getting the SMS or not? If you still have your job. Yeah, you're still getting the SMS or not, right? So now, using that, it only makes sense, Jorge, if you're going to get a coach in, with this break, you give coach the time to know the players, to be able to communicate whatever model you have, game model that you may have, to be able to actually form a relationship with the players and train with them. Because when you start the job mid-season, there's no time. Because as much as you want to have the grace period of getting to know them, there's a game on the weekend. So there's no time for you to even set up your tactics, practice them, actually implement whatever ideas you may have. So this over a month that you have, over a month. And it's great times. It's great time. But then I feel like that also puts a lot of pressure now.
Yeah.
Because by the time game one starts, we're expecting to see whatever game model idea you may have. Game one from the beginning. So I don't know, even if with that, do they have warm-up games in the
Is there a right time to do it? Is there ever a right time?
I think for me, I think my answer will be a bit long-winded, right? In a sense that a lot of times in our country, we don't have, a lot of teams in our country don't have a certain game model. So now, because I feel like you should sign coaches and players according to the team's game model, right? That's why there's a
let me challenge you.
Technical director. You'll challenge
Let me challenge you quickly.
That's why there's a technical director who gives way as to say, this is the game model.
Yes.
So, for example, if you are a possession-based team, right? Like the way Paris did. I thought Coach Wadu is not far from Coach Ribeiro.
Yes.
Right? So they share similar ideas. Yes, maybe they are different here and there because every coach is unique. But the Orlando Pirates players didn't have to do a lot of adjusting.
True.
Because the similar coach came in, continued with a lot of the principles that they had last season. He shares the same principles. And the principles in football don't normally contradict one another. So if you and I believe in the same game model, chances are our principles are the same.
Okay.
You know, so it's just the way of application or the interpretation in terms of maybe if you play a 4-3-3, you can interpret your 4-3-3 differently than
somebody else. Yes.
Yeah, but so it's just those minor adjustments for players. So with that being said, then the coach doesn't need a lot of time. Yeah, but if you bring a chalk and cheese, if you are possession based, and I'm a coach that believes in a lot of verticality and playing off the second ball, it's two different things.
Yeah.
So now the adjustment, the mindset of the players to say, oh no, now we're not being coached by a coach so and so. Now it's coach so and so. So that adaptation of the players to a coach, and so the dynamics around that. So if you've got, for example, with the way Coach Kevin Hunt plays, right? If they get a similar coach to how he plays, 4 weeks is enough. You know, it's just in the 4 weeks, the coach now needs to do a lot of winning the players over in the changing room first, you know, and then, because that's where I believe as a coach, that's where you start. Otherwise, you won't get anything out of any player if the player doesn't have your back, or the player doesn't feel as if they've got a coach or a brother or something in you. It doesn't take long to create the chemistry and the bond. That's related easy. That's why, like, you it's easy to build a team off of that. You know, so I think it depends on the game model. If you do have a game model, are you gonna hire a coach that believes or works within the same? But if it's contradictory, then it's like maybe you don't have enough
so
time.
or the team that have a game model.
No, they are, but there's not a lot. For example, I'll give you an example.
Example, yes. For
Pirates
instance,
has a clear way of how they want to play.
Sundowns,
And the
sure.
Pirates, and they sign the same profile: fast wingers, midfielders that can pack, midfielders that can distribute, defenders that are very good on the ball, can distribute the ball.
One
That's
physical,
Pirates. From the days of Abu Giftli Remy.
so
right?
now, okay.
Sharp. Then you go to Sundowns. They've got their Shushan and Piano.
Yebo.
Right? Coach Pizzo got there. Even before him, there were people from Dutch that tried.
Yeah.
Coach Rulani took over,
Yebo.
made it better. Coach Caruso came in, shares probably the same principles, right? Maybe different in the mindset somehow. Maybe, you know, you could argue, right? But which other team can you say? Because like it's
So it's done on PS Moti. So it's done on
We
PSL.
don't have game models.
no, we don't.
So what are we doing?
Check.
Honest.
We have coach models.
We have coach. For example, if right now, I'll give you an example. If you want to play in a certain way, it's famous or it's well known that if you want to keep possession, you'll probably go for a coach dance. Right?
Yeah.
You'll probably go for.
So when you say there is a coach model, you are saying the institution, the club.
Yeah.
I know that thing.
No.
So then what happens is it comes from Uhira, Piicasso, or Piicasso's Wagala, and then you implement your philosophy and your game model.
It even gets even worse than that. I don't even think it's like that. I think it's not even down to coach philosophy. It's down to what's happening with your club at the time. So there's
what do you
some
mean?
coaches.
That is very true.
What do you mean?
There's
What do
some
you mean?
coaches who get called because they're in a
they've
specific
done
situation.
So
maybe
Kaizer.
they saved
Yeah.
the team from relegation before.
So I'm gonna call you
Like
again.
Coach Vilakazi,
Coach
I think
Kanu.
Coach
Yeah.
Vivi has done it
A couple of
because
times.
He's got that reputation. Even Coach
Sam
Pizzo,
So give us some Allardyce.
Sam
You ain't getting no emergency.
Yes.
And then-
Remember even with
yeah.
Coach Pizzo when he got to Sundowns, I think Sundowns was sitting on number 13.
Yeah.
And he said something in there, I'm not saying this verbatim, but
Yeah.
something in the lines of, I'm tired of saving teams. Can I get a team that is...
That I can cook with.
Yes.
So for me, there's not philosophies, there's types of coaches.
Okay.
There's the relegation coach who saves you. So like who coach said, Coach Kanu, those guys, they're the ones who get called in.
Yes.
When stuff is tough, you call
Yes.
them in. Then there's stability coaches. It's guys that you don't need to put money behind. You don't need to put resources behind.
Like, is Gavin one of those?
Basokubeka kubama 10, 8, nyana, around there.
Top
They'll-
8 you can make.
and they'll stay there. Then there's the coaches where
Wait, is Gavin Hunt one of those?
Gavin keeps moving because he falls into the next band. I thought
Yeah.
he falls into the next band where it's stability but long term. So
Okay.
they've got enough skills and abilities to make you a top 5 team,
Okay.
top 6 team. They've played like Coach Gavin Hunt has played African football quite a bit with both Supersport
Yes.
and those guys. It's usually the long term. Coach Parker. Long term guys,
Okay.
you keep them for a very long time. And then there's the superstars. We don't really have that many superstars, to be fair. So you look at a coach Rulani. For me, he's a superstar. Like
He's
he's
a-
the
Musimani,
guy.
Coach
Coach
Yeah,
Pizzo.
Coach
You put
Pizzo
them in
is a
and you say,
superstar.
"I'm winning a league." Like it's not an if but or maybe. You say to them, your mandate is to go win. So I think what has happened in our league is that we've got too many. I call them and no disrespect, placeholder coaches. You are there, they don't trust you with the philosophy. They don't trust you with signings. They don't trust you with direction of the club. Like Coach Tentens, they bring him in. Coach Tentens works out like this every single time. You bring him in. Within 2 weeks, your team is playing some of the best football in the league. The moment you get stability somewhere, they go, yeah, you've done your job.
Thank you.
So you get what I mean? So then the question I want to ask you on the back of this, Khalifat, now that we've spoken about this with the coaches, do you think that our teams do enough work in making sure that the signings that they're making make sense? Or is it a case of Gavin is available, sign him. Ban is available, let.
You know, a large problem in our football is that...
Yes, Piicasso, yes, what pay me for the question? Yes, Piicasso, again, Avela teacher ribs.
So, I just didn't want to lose my train.
Oh, okay, no, you know what? So here's my chat, right? My chat is that what you're asking, are you saying that are they buying players and then the coach must figure it out? Is that what you're asking?
Not even. I'm saying the teams do the same thing in the PSL.
Okay.
Right? They're not going to find new players. They're going to go look for the experienced guys.
Okay.
We know the guys that are always signed at teams where it's just experience, where they're just bringing you in because you understand the league. Not necessarily that I'm bringing you in
to change anything, to be a catalyst for
then
change.
Then they do the same thing with the coaches, where they say, coach, we're going through something right now. Coach Banban, Coach Kanu, come through, save us.
Yes.
But they never get to...
You know, I wonder, so when Piicasso said the league, there's not many teams that have a philosophy, that have a game model that they stand on. It makes me wonder, is that one of the reasons why many people, because Connie Wayne was a PSL, you know, Connie Wayne was a PSL, but they aren't able to attract perhaps new people into the PSL.
Do they want to?
That's another chat, right?
That's a different
chat. It's another chat. But I look at, so my audience, younger guys, 18 to 25, those are my boys, EPL, La Liga. But our coach, why am I linked to PSL? What's the point of watching PSL? When I'm training kids, but I'm like, oh, do you know Smang Mang? They're like, no, bro. What, from where? What's Kukune? Bro? Oh, okay. Those kinds of things. I wonder, not having a team that is able to play differently to Pirates, that is able to play different to Sundowns, where you can actually create some sort of a rivalry of playing style. So you've got a Stoke City and a Man City, let's just say, where you put these two styles together or up against each other to create entertainment. Could you say that the teams not having clear philosophies and game models affects the watchability of the league? Being able to attract people to watch the league.
It does, big time. Yeah, it does, big time. And I'll tell you, because also remember, for example, you will always use other examples that are outside the country.
Yes.
You take a Pep Guardiola, he goes into Man City, and Khaldun Mubarak, I think, is the chairman of Man City. He says to him, I want my team from today onwards to play like a Pep team, right? But you know, when you're signing Pep, you're signing trophies. So the playing philosophy and the game model will come with trophies.
And right? Just to jump in on that one, it wasn't just Pep. They also brought in Cheeky from Barcelona.
Yes. So even the sporting director shares and there was also it's an entire board that shares the same mindset that this is the direction we are heading to, and on the pitch this is who we are deploying, and then from there Pep can decide, okay, because of this I'm gonna call Ateta, I'm gonna call so and so, Maresca, so and so, bring them here. They'll help me push the project. But their vision is aligned. Everyone is thinking in the same way, right? But now you get in our country, whereby the sporting director wants this, the head coach wants that,
the players are different.
The players don't match. They are contradicting what you want to do. So as long as the top is not fixed, because at the end of the day, the owner, whoever takes out the money, decides, right? For example, George, you are the owner of Sport Pesa as a football club, right? You decide that I want, this is the vision I have for this team, whether business-wise, footballing-wise, in game, you decide.
Yeah.
From there, you employ people that will help see out your vision, right?
Do you know what I think? I think there isn't a separation between. I think the problem with our league a lot of the time is that, and it's gonna be harsh as normal,
As you should
as
be.
usual. The football people that are running our football teams, there's no separation between leadership, operations, football. So whenever we speak about Ntate Motsepe, what I love about Ntate Motsepe is that he knows his role.
Okay.
And he knows that in a corporate setup, I'm the chairman of the board.
Stay in your lane.
My job is not to come and be with you every day. My job is after every quarter, I sit down and I go, okay, guys, I gave
And the
you
numbers making sense.
What's
I gave you
happening?
this, I gave you that, I gave you that. What's the returns? What's happening? Then the second layer, Abu Khaldun. I mean, Khaldun doesn't, the chairman of Man City doesn't sit down with Khaldun to tell Khaldun what to do. He comes in and he does his job. Okay, as Khaldun, I run all of football operations. My job is to make sure that all of these things are aligned. Even if I'm the one who picks the philosophy. So
Yes.
if Flemingberg is picking the philosophy now, let's say it's Sundowns, I decide, guys, Slalaso from academy, from what. Then you go get coaches that fill in that space. But the problem is that with our league, a lot of the teams, that thing is smashed. Everybody's doing everything. We expect the coach to be the technical director, to be the guy who negotiates contracts,
Yes.
to be the guy who holds the philosophy of the team. Then you've got a technical director who you're expecting to, some technical directors sit on the benches of team. I'm not going to say who, but they sit on benches.
I'm not gonna. Why don't you say
Now
who,
he's
my
an
boy?
assistant coach and he's sitting there and he's also speaking to the player, Jimmy Sama player as a technical director, and you're asking, I'm a contractor, I'm a player. Then there's even another layer because we've got CEOs in the league. There's CEOs now, but they're inside. So it really does feel like, you know, that thing where people don't know what their roles are meant to be. And now every day it's wishy-wishy because everybody's doing everything or they think they can do everything.
No, the
Mara, you
problem
guys-
starts, it's a problem start akang, ne? The problem starts with if you went to school for something,
Yeah.
right? You know your role and responsibility because that's what you are taught, right? For example, I do my coaching badges. I know my roles and responsibilities with the players and without the players. I know because of what I'm educated in that space.
Mara,
But
Luna.
as soon as my man,
Luna.
the coaching licenses that I've done have nothing to do with me knowing how to sign a player. So I can never go to my boss and be like, give me a contract, let me set it up for this player. No, I tell my boss, this is a player that I think can help us. I want him on board. Please make sure by any means that he's on board. I leave it at that. My job was to assess the player. If he's good enough and I think he can help the team, from Labo, it goes. From there, Ganjalo, there's steps. Everyone must stay in their lane. Everyone must do their job. Once now, so ngene lane in yami, and then myself, coach, how do you hire me then tell me
How to do the job.
my job?
Yeah.
Like that does not make sense. And I don't think black coaches in the country are respected enough, if we are being honest.
No, I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. Just want to...
Look, you know, 2 weeks ago, we spoke about plans, right? National team plans. Like, do clubs and countries have a plan? And we spoke about Spain, right? Talk about Spain. They won the Euros, the World Cup, Euro again. And you guys are like, it was Spain's plan. But then I'm comparing it to SA. We have a pool of talent and we are seemingly doing very well. World Cup, AFCON is happening. You guys are like, see, shaisile, right? And I'm like, why is it Uwi Shaisa when it's SA, but then when it's Spain, it's planning and precision? Then, now I'm listening to you guys.
Yeah.
Then you spoke about the leagues, our clubs are coach dependent or coach specific?
Yeah, coach-led. Let's
Right, coach-led. And you're insinuating that, right? Then you give me an example of Man City. Man City did not have a game model, as you've just stated. They said, Pep, come create this game model. Is that also still not coach-based or coach-led?
No, it's not. It's a foundation.
They
Pep
decided.
is a foundation to say, okay, who's the best person for what we want? Okay, it's that guy. Now, if, for example, if Pep resigns from Man City, he's never been fired. I think he's the only coach that's never been fired.
Yeah.
If he resigns or get fired or he moves on,
Yes.
right? He has set the base of what Man City is. I mean, he's been there 10 years. So the next person that's going to be employed will probably be a Disabi.
Besides,
will probably be. So now Man City can maintain, depending on, like, with the coaches that they will bring in, it's coaches that will maintain the dominant possession football approach.
Okay.
But I look at it like this.
Yeah.
I look at it like this.
Yeah.
I don't think the club started with Pep.
Yes.
So I think what they did was, even if it's as simple as, I want to play like Barcelona.
Okay.
Right? This is my plan. I'm a new owner, or we've seen what happened with Mancini. We've seen what happened with Pellegrini. You know what? I'm tired of watching what I'm watching. I want to play like Barcelona.
Yes.
Then you go, what is Barcelona? Right?
Okay.
Barcelona is Cheeky Bergestan, Barcelona's Pep Guardiola, Barcelona's this, that. And then the club then goes, we're going to bring all of these elements together. That's the plan. That's when I say it's a plan. It's not I brought in Pep, right?
And then things happen.
And then Pep was doing well. Then I was like, actually, maybe I should bring a technical director. So everywhere overseas, a lot of the time with the big teams, I don't want to speak for the smaller teams, but with the big teams, even when they change coaches, it's not just the coach that's changing. They change backroom staff. So it's the same with Liverpool. Remember when Klopp came in? People say Klopp. When Liverpool brought Klopp in, they removed all of their backroom staff.
Yes.
And then they brought in the analytics guys.
Yes.
Michael Edwards became the CEO. He was analytics. They changed how they do transfers. They did. So what we're seeing here with our clubs is, for example, Coach Gavin Hunt was coach of Durban City. Who was the technical director of Tamaili Hunt?
I have no idea.
And if he's been so good under Stan Matthews, let's say, I get it at the time with Supersport, it was Stan Matthews. If he was so good with Stan Matthews, let's say, they went together as a pair, why are you only signing him and not bringing Stan Matthews? So even at the Chiefs, for example, let's speak about Chiefs, for example. If you bring in a coach right now, what are you doing fundamentally to the structure of what you're bringing in upwardly in order to make sure that the whole thing is in alignment? And even if you look at it as stupid as when Coach Nabi was here, was the DDC playing the same football as Coach Nabi?
Okay.
So now, when I want to bring a player from DDC, can the player match and come through? Even just from that perspective.
And I'll tell you what, who has got it right. And it's from what I've seen. Even when we played in our league, we played Orlando Pirates. I think from last season backwards. The way that the first team plays is the way that Pele tries to play. Orlando Pirates in the ABC. No.
I see what you're trying to do.
No, I'm just saying the coaches probably need a bit more time to get it right and maybe get the signings. Oh, okay, we know what we want out of the players, but maybe their profile there is wrong. Maybe we need to tweak it there. Maybe we have. That's why I need to. They are trying. You can see what they are trying to implement.
Yeah, no,
it's as clear as daylight.
You know,
even when I was watching their games, analyze. I think I watched 4 or 5 of their games, analyzing them. Their patterns are exactly the same as the first team. Okay. The problem is they probably don't have fast wingers like they do in the first team. So it's those things that will help their coaches in the long term to say, oh, okay, because we need this, we need fast wingers. Maybe here we just have one, the rest are not. Then you adjust. So Pirates has gotten it right in terms of their game model and how they want the team to operate, right? Okay. But a large part of the PSL is teams that don't have that. And for Coach Gavin Hunt, as coaches, we are fired for a lot of things. For a lot of reasons. I don't even know why he's fired because he's played
number
14
8
games.
also.
He's number 8. Played 14 games, drew 4, won 5, lost 5.
It's like, it's
18 points, right? He's number 8. He's in the top 8. If the league was to end tomorrow, he's in the top 8. Durban City is a new team, right? Into the league. Yeah. They are fairly new, right? Okay. So maybe it's I don't think it was for results because it can't be. Honestly, I
My
refuse
my
to believe
my.
in the results.
Sometimes our perceptions of our own league, of things at home, even myself, I always think sometimes like, hey, Orkant is just that much better, that much more organized, that much more whatever, right? But when you guys speak about game models and how teams are structured, and you look at the league, like you're saying, majority of the league is not, in terms of planning and organization, in this context, they're not very well versed. But I'm pretty sure we can say that about the Premier League as well, right? So there's the likes of Arsenal, there's the likes of Man City, right? Liverpool is still finding their way, and so on and so forth. And even United finding their way. Majority of the league does not have that.
No, they do. There's Brentford. You know how Brentford plays. It's set pieces, verticality, long.
But even if you look at Brentford going from Thomas Frank to where they are now, still different. So it's not consistently the same thing. No, but if you look at West Ham, same thing. It's not consistently the same thing. But you look at Fulham.
Those dynamics will kind of. I'll give you an example.
But look, what I'm trying to get at, here is that this could be what is normal. It's not a lack of planning, organization of this league. Is this how things play out?
But look at La Liga, for example. Go to another league. Look at La Liga, for example. All the teams in La Liga, most of them are possession-based.
Yes, that's the culture of La Liga.
They play different formations.
Yes.
They interpret their formations differently. But the idea is, let's keep the ball on the ground. For sure, that's one of their principles.
Yes,
right?
That's the principle throughout the league, yes.
The English Premier League was rock and roll. It was more heavy metal football.
Yeah, physical.
Go for it, physicality, right? Yes.
And there was Arsene Wenger before him.
Yes.
With Arsenal, who tried to
switch it up, yes.
They were different
yes.
from the rest, right? So now you've got that, right? You've got the possession-based teams like Man City, Arsenal. You've got them. Maresca now with Chelsea shares the same ideas. That's why he's from Pep, right? If who's this company? If he didn't go to Bayern and stuck with Burnley, he would still have the same. So most teams in the Premier League is probably just maybe the type of football that they are playing is not so clear to see. But best believe you me, they don't change how they do their thing.
Is there a difference between style of play and culture? Because what I'm hearing here is that some of the leagues may have an overarching culture. And is that maybe where in SA we lose it a little bit? That we don't know. I asked this the other time. What is SA football across the board? Remember when you spoke about the formations and things like that?
As in, can you spot, if you were to sit, can you spot it?
Do we miss, is that maybe something that's missing that might close the gap between the different teams? So in general, like for example, in Spain, if we know that Spain is a possessive league,
yes,
then you know that across the board, whether you're developing players at Malaga or whatever, pretty much they're going to play the same football, right?
That is culture.
That is culture.
Culture, yes.
Whereas maybe in SA, if you go to a Stellenbosch, you're probably going to play different football to a Pirates. You're probably going to play different to a Sundowns, and maybe that's what makes the difference.
So I think with that, it could close the gap. It could, right? In terms of we can much better compete and maybe beat you, even though because we'd have similar ways of how we want the teams to play, right? But with that, it means things are similar. And for myself personally, I want differences, right? So like we had with Pep and Klopp. You want to see, okay, this versus this, tactically, what supersedes the other, right? I want to see a Sam Allardyce versus a Pep. Or
that's
Sean
why
Dyche.
Stellenbosch and the Sundowns was such a nice fixture with Coach Rulani and Coach
Parker.
So these things, for entertainment purposes, because at the end of the day, football is entertainment, right? I want to be entertained. I want to see your ideals and your ideals. Let's put them against each other to see what is what. Because right now, there's a lot of homogenization where things are the same.
Do you know what my problem is with our league? I can live with homogeny. I can live with it. But what I can't live with is recycling. So the issue with the league that we have is that I would understand if, for example, Chipa United with Patela. Patela is now maybe going to evolve what Chipa does. He's a new face. He's coming in. He's going to evolve it. But then the problem is with the rest of the league is that Gavin Hunt is going to land somewhere else.
Wait. Actually, we don't need a whole... Wait. We don't need a team to have the style of play or a game model, right? I don't think so. If you look at Real Madrid, Madrid does not have a specific game model. They hire the coach that can best get the best out of the team, and it seemingly works. So is this thing real? Does it even matter?
No. But that's a
Madrid can. I'll give you something. Madrid can, for example, Manje, Alonso.
Yes.
Right. Alonso will kind of find difficulty because of the profile of players that are here.
Yes.
It's not
as he is right
Brett,
now.
It's not your Frimpong.
Yes.
It's not your. So he will kind of struggle because of those players because he's possession based, right?
Yes.
So now I think for the first time Madrid signed a coach that is not good for them. He's a great coach, but he's not good for their culture and
he's not a good manager.
Model. Besides that, he's not good for their for what Madrid is. Madrid is. I tell you,
we want to win and we want to be entertained. We want to be in the opposition box at all times.
I don't think Madrid is a technical profile.
It's not.
I think Madrid is a player profile. Can you no check. Can you but the most important thing at Real Madrid is, can you handle egos?
Yes.
Can you
it's
handle
management?
Can you take big players and make them blink? It's not about trying to fit and coach and whatever.
So now this thing seemingly can work.
But what I'm saying is, how much chance can I land on the point I was making? The point I was making was, like you guys are saying, it would be one thing if Abafana Best 10, they were saying, Golden Arrows was saying, this is the football that we're playing. And then every year we're seeking out new people who can give us that football.
Yes.
But now we're recycling. We're going to go back to Coach Mangoba, no disrespect. We're going to go back to Coach Mangoba, who coached there 17 years ago. Mm-hmm. You get what I mean? We're going to go back to Gavin Hunt. We're going to keep doing...
But it's possible that he could have improved his game model. Is it possible?
No, but why am I bringing him in? I'm not bringing him in to improve what I'm doing. I'm bringing him in because he's familiar. I'm not bringing Gavin Hunt in because I want to go win the league right now. I'm bringing him in because I don't want to struggle for the next 2 years having to think too hard about things. So that's why I'm like, we keep...
Are you saying that those coaches are not even evolving?
No, I'm saying that they're not... Let me give you a chance. Let me give you this.
Yeah.
Gavin Hunt, right? I've often asked. I love Coach Gavin Hunt, right? But Coach Gavin Hunt, are you also challenging yourself?
Okay.
Why do you keep signing to teams that are not going to give you the budget, that are going to give you everything for you to be the best? You're part of the problem. So everybody's complacent right now because they're taking these jobs and they're saying, oh yeah, look, I'm comfortable with Golden Arrows. When I get to Golden Arrows, there's no expectation of Coach Mangoba to go win the league. There's no expectation of a Golden Arrows to go sign players above their budgets to go win the league.
Okay.
So now we are all being comfortable with each other. I needed a job. You got me a job. What do we say about Coach Tentens all the time? Coach Tens, why do you keep picking up the phone? At some point, do you not go, I can't keep doing the same thing. But the comfort of saying, I tried this thing, ngimzamile Patela, let's say. I changed Patela, I changed Usnesipo Male, brought him in, I moved away from Coach Morgan, I moved away from, right now I just need somebody who can just save me right now.
Yeah.
And a lot of the teams are just in that mode where it's just, no one is really pushing the envelope.
It's also another thing is, as coaches, our mentality also is, a lot of coaches, we play not to lose matches. And it's not about playing to win the games in most instances. Because our job...
I'm trying to keep my job.
Our jobs are very fragile.
Very volatile.
There's not much security
with
our jobs. So, and that's why sometimes, to be honest, that's why sometimes the football is not exciting. And that's why sometimes the football is not worth watching. Because how many coaches can wake up and be like, I know in my place of work, whichever team I'm coaching, I'm guaranteed the next 3-4 years. So I'm going to try out things. I'm going to try this. For example, with Pep, we'll go back to examples overseas. He's given a contract. They like, we want to play like this, right? He tells them, okay, cool, you will play like this. You will win trophies, but
I need
time. I need time. I need to a couple of windows to make the right signings, to see what's working, to release a few players. Right, it's an agreement, and what does the chairman do? He gives them full support, right? And then years later, you benefit from that, right? Because your plan actually came to life. Now you get to our country whereby it's survival mode. It's survival of the fittest.
Understandably so.
It's not understandable.
Understandably so.
To be honest, you can't blame, because there are a lot of the chairmans in our league are trigger happy. Let's be honest. It's like even in North Africa, not just in our league.
Yeah.
Even in North Africa, people are trigger happy. If they don't see results, my friend, you're cool.
No, but guys, it's a self. But here's my problem. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. I want to be safe. I play safe. I do this. Gavin Hunt may not want to rock the boat. I don't want to make the transfers. I don't want to do those things. I'm going to play the football that I normally play. It's going to put me 8th. What happened? Fired. That's why. For me, it feels like it's a self-fulfilling prophecy in the sense that the safer you play it, the worse it's going to become, and now it becomes your what do you call it? Your reputation.
Okay,
is now that thing, and that's why I'm asking the question about even just the teams themselves. Are they also at a place where they're sitting down and they're going, "Do I want to experiment and do all of those other things?" That would make you a better team. That could make you more money. That could make you more everything.
Could get you relegated.
But because you're playing this game, right? Then you get relegated anyway. Or you're in relegation every year. You're fighting every year relegation. Because that's why it's like you're eating your own tail. So I'm saying, I understand wanting to be safe. I understand keeping your job, right? But you're going to go out on your sword anyway. You're going to die either way. Rather die moving forward, and then you put something behind you and I go, Piicasso, what do we say about him? He did so well at Chipa. Chipa was playing such great football. That's his rep now. Even though he got fired. Now what he does with that rep, you can move forward.
He ends that whole chat with, and he got fired.
No, I'm saying he got fired, but look at how we look at him. Yeah.
And that's what I always believe as a coach, that die by your own sword. If, for example, and I always tell my players, gents, I'm not naive, I'm not stupid. If I say build up from the back, restart the ball, and I want verticality in the build up, I'm expecting you to play the ball in central corridor.
Yes.
That's my expectation.
Yes.
Mistakes will happen.
Of course.
Right?
Listen will be turned off.
Right?
You will concede.
I'm putting my head on the block for you guys to say, do it. I'll have your back. If you make the mistake, I will take it. What I want to see is courage. It's players that are willing to try what we've trained, right? That's my mentality. That is my mentality. I'm willing to die by the principles and what I'm believing.
And even if you get fired,
I'll be happy.
But besides that,
I'll be okay with being fired because with something that I believe in, rather than in figure. And I tell the players, okay, gents, I'll shy. Mascot will shy. Maybe we win and then we lose at the end of the day. I'll get fired.
No, but am
I going to be happy?
But the nice thing about if you get fired doing what you're doing is that you have a reputation that follows you. You might get taken somewhere else.
You don't lose it all.
So it's like Khalifang. Khalifang was a great coach. He played great. Tentens. I think Tentens still gets jobs because we still say about him.
Yes.
When he comes to your team, he plays great football.
Yes.
Your team will play great football, blah, blah, blah. He just never, now onto the coach, he just never takes that and moves it somewhere else. You get what I mean? Or takes that and goes with that somewhere. And I don't know if you wanna jump in on that.
No. Like
I wanted to ask you that question because you're coming from that point. Do you think our coaches have the confidence enough in themselves and confidence enough in themselves to look past some of these limitations, but then also to be able to look at a team and say, Donna, I'm not going to eat, but I want my football to be the one. Are they willing to take a Pep Guardiola route and say, I'm going to go coach the B team at Barcelona, And he needed, the story goes, he needed Cruyff to stand behind him,
Yes.
strong with the board.
He get to
But
get him.
he coached in the B team, right?
Yes.
To refine his things.
Yes.
And he refused to put that down. Obviously getting better each time and trying to improve it. But do we have coaches that are willing to do that, or do we just sell out too easily to this
It's
easy thing?
tough, bro. Like, I feel like, end of the day, this is your job. You're trying to put food on the table, right? So, as you're saying, you're playing not to lose. It's noble. It's definitely noble to go out on your own sword. But if I've got a higher chance of maintaining my job, feeding my family, not risking it for the biscuit, I will take that. Because end of the day, we are just people watching this thing, and you're dictating, do this, do that, take risks, do all these things. But risks, I think the rewards do not outweigh the risks. Hence, they want to go the
How?
route.
Why don't they?
Because when you risk it for the biscuit, the chance of it happening, because like you're saying, you get you get a contract, right? You get your contract, and there's a high chance in that conversation that you're going to see through this contract. That's the agreement that they have. With Arteta, same thing. You're going to see this thing with your 5-step plan, sharp. But then you meet a coach, you meet a chairman like Roman Abramovich that says, my bro, I want to win now. I don't care what your plan is. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. Oh, sorry. Do what you want to do, but make sure you win, right? There's no time to risk.
But aren't we taking? But again, aren't we taking the responsibility away from the coaches as well to come with results? So
the coach must come with results.
So Pep was a risk for Barcelona. Remember, Pep was a risk. He was coaching the B team. Cruyff had to step in.
Yes, for
Be like,
Barca. Yes.
I will be the
I will take the heat.
the
It's
surety,
fine.
right?
Yes.
But you still have to win. So aren't we taking it away from them, even from that point of view, to say, if you believe in your philosophy 10 toes down, right? I am supposed to be able to put you into this place.
But also,
and you win first check, or not even first check, but you must show me the returns now with your team.
It makes it difficult. What you guys mentioned earlier on. Jorge, there are no levels and everybody plays their part, right? There's no agreement, Jorge, okay, we are going to bring Coach Piicasso in here, right? He wants to play like this. We'll make sure that all the levels help and complement the way he wants to play. When you get there, right, for me to stand 10 toes down on my model, it makes it difficult when I don't have the support for said model. So you look at Coach Wadu. Coach Wadu, I don't believe the players that Pirates got, he decided, I want all these players. He comes there, he gets what he gets, he needs to figure it out. So it's very difficult for me to implement whatever plan that I may have when that is what I met with
Coach,
organizationally.
But you signed the contract. That's why I'm like, my thing is also with our coaches, you signed the contract. Pirates came knocking, you know what's going to come with Pirates.
Yes.
Right? If you can't be free, then why did you do that? Because what's going to happen is that you're going to go to Pirates, you're going to play safe, you're going to do whatever, you're going to be kicked out, and then now all of your opportunities from that point on also disappear.
Graham Potter.
So it's literally, for me, it's like also that thing, Nabo Coach Betu, again, I'll say it, Coach Tentens, why aren't you in Tanzania right now?
But the thing is, George,
For example.
the thing is, you need to kind of find a balance, right? I feel as a coach, how can I balance getting results at the same time trying to implement
my philosophy,
my philosophy or game model, right? For example, Coach Gulane is sitting on top of the league right now, but you can't tell me what the MC Alger that we are watching is how Coach Hulane wants to play, right? But what is he doing? He's getting results, but in the same breath, he's implementing, he's trying. You can see that he's doing this, he's doing that. In the same space, he's checking to say, okay, in the next window, do I need a goalkeeper that can play from the back? Do I need so and so? Yeah, then it's a puzzle that you keep putting together, but don't forget, we are there for results.
But you could also argue...
Keep getting results whilst you're trying to implement this thing.
But you could also argue that Coach Rulani finds himself there right now because... it's going to sound harsh again.
Say the thing.
he went to the wrong club. And now he's forced to play in this. He's forced to play in this
He went to
circle
the
now.
Wrong clubhouse.
Being who?
So
What do you
he
mean?
went to a club. Remember when Coach Rulani went to Wydad? Everybody said the same thing. Coach Rulani, Donna, this is not the club that's you're gonna talk, you're gonna be brash, you're gonna do all that stuff. They're gonna get rid of you now because the standards are not the standards from here. Find you a club, maybe, that has lower standards, a little bit closer, but lower standards, where you can come in and play your football and do all of the stuff and be brash and all of that and sort of not earn it, but show them immediately that they need you, right? So now he's playing in a place where, because that didn't work out, he now, in his next job, has to be conservative.
Yes. Okay.
Whereas you look at a Pep will never go to a club that cannot furnish everything that it needs
Facts.
day one.
Facts.
He's not signing that contract. He's not going to play. He's not going to give you guys the, hey, I'm figuring out. He's like, look, guys, Everton, I'm sorry. I'm not signing for you guys.
But George, like, the way
How do those play in? I mean, I want to know how do those play in.
My thing is, as coaches, right, you either are making career moves or money moves, right?
Yeah.
And I think Coach Ulane is still young. Ne? And I think a lot of his moves are career moves, right? Because he goes, for example, he goes to Wydad. It's a mess, right? He goes there, he tries his best, he learns new things, how to sign players, how to scout players for himself. He does the scouting, he does this. That sharpens what? Certain skills that he maybe didn't know he had, right?
Yeah.
He goes to now his
MC Alger.
tenure ends or he gets fired or whatever, goes to MC Alger. Now he's playing against opposition that play in a certain way. So it improves him as a coach. He does this, he does that. Here's the thing. He's still sharpening his skills. Maybe with Pep, he sharpened his skill at Barcelona, not in front of our eyes. It's just a sad fact that with Coach Rulani, he has to learn in front of our eyes, and he has to burn in front of our eyes because that's where he is right now. But with other coaches, they take their losses in private. Other coaches have to take it in public. So it's
I hear you. But then again, look, this is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that once Pep figured out what he wanted to do, he sharpened his standards. And he was like, listen, with the shine that I have right now, I can't afford to go somewhere where I'm gonna have to rebuild or restart or sacrifice my values, right? So when he makes the moves that he makes now, we all know. I'm sure there's teams that pitch Pep, and you get to the door and it's like, what are you doing here? Abanye, they even disqualify themselves. So what my thing is, I'm looking at our coaches and I'm saying to them, instead of going to Devon City and playing the game, no, I'm going to learn or whatever, find another team that fits exactly what you do and then go there and not sacrifice what you need to do immediately when you get there, right? Like sometimes we idolize suffering. I must suffer. I must go and learn. Pep doesn't want to learn what it's like to save a team from relegation. But you get what I mean. He doesn't want to learn what it means to have
a mid-table team to the top.
He doesn't. He's like, guys, miss me completely with that. I will never in my life.
Because remember, George, let's not separate the circumstances from the people that are in those circumstances. For example, Pep coaches Barcelona, right? He's probably making, guys, we've got lives. As coaches, we've got lives, families to feed, responsibilities, right? With Pep, he goes to Barcelona, first team, does well, wins trophies, makes his money. He makes money. Coaches overseas, right now, I think Pep earns, I'm not sure, but I read somewhere, I think he's making 20-something million euros per year.
Yeah.
That's after tax, right? Pep can afford to sit down tomorrow and say, I can sit 3 years without a job. In South Africa, you can't afford
But
that's why you've got to teeter the line.
and coach George's team, and then George fires you after 6 months, then go to Khalifan's team, gives you 2 years.
Then you become a freelancer.
You guys are telling the story of Pep. Guys, he still took the risk of coaching a B team. And he still took a risk of standing in front of the board of the A team and saying, yay, I play like this.
Is it a risk to no?
But remember,
what I'm
even
saying-
the background guy, Pep, he's a former professional.
I
He
hear
probably
you.
had money.
And played for
That's
Barcelona.
cool.
Played for
You telling me Kevin Hunt is not fine right now?
Ah, my
You
God.
telling? No, I'm asking.
But to feel.
I'm not pocket watching.
No, I'm not saying no, but I'm saying.
But let's be honest.
You telling me
you
that-
can't compare.
Apples and oranges.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. No, but
No,
this
but
is-
no, sorry.
no,
I hear your point.
what I'm trying to say
hearing
to
your
you
chat.
is that even
I'm
with
hearing your
Gavin,
chat, yes.
he had to take the risk of coaching Black Leopards
Yes.
as a white coach, what with the
Yes.
monies and all of that stuff. He had to take those risks. But then when it comes time to stand on business,
Yes.
now I'm standing on business. I think at the time when Coach Rulani was leaving Sundowns, or the things happened, I am sure he had the pick of jobs. I am sure he had the pick of jobs. And even he spoke about We Dad. It was, you know how they used to clap for him Ngale and whatever. It felt a little bit like an emotional decision as well to say, again, I'm going towards the comfort of these guys that loved me, that have been courting me, instead of saying, will this work out for me that way? So I'm saying at the time when he was sitting there, maybe, again, I don't know. I don't know what his representatives are looking at. Maybe you could have been coaching a second division team in France right now.
Yeah, look,
And building in the, like, also with the environment of it, and building in Europe.
yeah.
But also, I feel like it was, to be honest, the reason I say he's making career moves, although I don't like talking about other coaches because I'm a coach as well. But if let's be honest, as a coach, I think the pathway for coaches to get overseas is to go through North Africa first.
I don't believe it. I don't believe that.
Here's the thing, right? If he's the right MC Alger,
Yeah.
trust me, I feel like people that are in those Scandinavian countries and your France, your this that, they watch more of those leagues than the PSL.
Okay.
That because also even with languages, there's Arabic in
There's some
you
sort
know,
of similarity.
Arabic, French.
yes, you know.
Yeah.
So I feel like he will be seen more there. If Coach Rulani had
guys.
Mamela, for example, if Coach Rulani take that Sundowns team
Yeah.
as it is
Yeah.
when he was coaching it, put it like MC Alger, right, and give Coach Rulani 2 years. My friend, that guy is going to the second.
But he
division.
couldn't do it here.
What do you want?
Eyes,
Guys.
Just out of curiosity, so do you want our coaches or your employer or your other asking, bro, take the risk. That's what you're saying. Take the risk, challenge yourself so that you can possibly be him at some point.
Take the calculated risk. So, for example, with what Coach Piicasso was speaking about now, I watched Coach Pito leave Sundowns, win two Champions Leagues with Al Ahly, still struggle to knock on that door to get inside. He said it himself. Then he thought he was going to go through the Arab route, and now, unfortunately, he's sitting at home.
Yes.
I'm saying that Coach Rulani, where he was at the time, remember, the D4 football was doing profiles on him.
he was
Apparently, there
getting
were teams in
podcasts
France
and
that wanted him and all of that stuff.
Yes.
It would be a calculated risk for him if he wants to get to the top, to go into Europe, into a lesser pressured situation, and do
But in
well
Europe,
there,
yes. Okay.
where you are inside Europe already.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? You can build your profile. So again, when I'm looking at our coaches, and it follows the same conversations we've had about the players with, do you guys actually check cultural fit, what fit,
Yes.
that fit? Do you check the team Gutinjani, what? Or do you just make a money decision, or do you just make an emotional decision? Where it's like, make those choices so that you can move forward, because if you don't make those choices, you'll find yourself like a Dan Dance. Great football, we love him. There's nobody that wants to take him. There's nobody that wants to take the risk on him. Whereas, look at Fadlu. Fadlu was the coach that was in charge of Maritzburg when they got relegated, right? Bounced back with Pirates, obviously, the Confed final. Took that and went, I'm going to be the assistant to Joseph Zimbauer in Morocco, right? Did that, they won, they did what they did. He jumps to Simba, he does what he does there, gets fired, is able to go back to Morocco, for example. Raja, he's now one of the head coaches. I'm not saying that that's going to take him overseas, but that little risk that he took to say, I'm not going to wait for Chiefs and Pirates to call me again. I'm going to go outside and I'm going to calculate. I've worked with Zimbabwe. I've done this. Now he's one of the better head coaches in the continent.
Yeah, just risk it for the biscuit. I'm hearing what you're saying.
When you look, but not risk. You see, the problem is that when we speak about risk, we always speak about it as a zero-sum game.
Yeah, of course.
I'm saying calculate your risks. Calculate it. You must know
The pros and cons.
I can speak Afrikaans. I'm probably going to be fine in the Netherlands.
Yes.
Or a little bit better. You get what I
Yeah.
mean? Calculate it. Like, look at your strengths and weaknesses. Okay, I'm a possessive coach. I'm not going to go play, I don't know, in a league in Italy.
Yeah.
Or let's say I suck at defense. I'm not going to go play in Italy.
Yes.
I'm going to go to Spain. But when you make these choices, don't make it as a sometimes, especially as black people, we suffer as that thing with the stomach. Yes, you're hungry right now. But that thing, the choices you make right now could keep you exactly at that level.
It's true.
And then you never go anywhere else.
That's why I get to career moves and money moves. But I feel like to wrap it up, I'm not sure how far we are, but to wrap it up, I feel like our coaches, like Mzansi, it's difficult. Or it's difficult for us, to be honest. It's very difficult. It's hard to keep jobs because of different reasons. It's hard to keep jobs
so
at amateur level.
It's so tough.
They're at the top.
I can only imagine.
You can only imagine. So it's unlucky that Coach Gavin got fired, for whatever reason. Hopefully he gets a job again.
He's gonna be. He knows he's gonna be fine.
But
He's that guy now.
It's nothing. It's no culture shock, man. It happens next week. The other week,
No, and Abanye.
that's why even I tell the players that, guys, I'm not afraid of losing my job. Like, I'm not. And because I believe fear paralyzes you. The day I'm fearful of losing a job, I can't work under that mindset.
Freely. Yes, you can't be free in your way. Yeah,
but
for sure.
I need to go in there and balls to the wall and try my best. If I fail, I fail. And also I don't personalize failure. And I feel like a lot of coaches or a lot of people don't if the game plan didn't work, it's not you that failed, it's a game plan. If the job didn't work, it's not yours. The failure is not yours. Own up to it. Yes, okay, I could have done this better, learned from this, do this, do that. But don't and carry it everywhere you go. No. Like, you're not the first person to fail, not the last. So unlike you to Coach Kevin Hunt that he lost his job, but I'm sure he'll get another job.
He's
and
fine.
He'll try his best.
Here's the complacency I'm talking about. Coach Kevin knows. 3 weeks from now, he'll have a job. You remember Supersport?
But there isn't that.
Remember he got fired from Supersport?
Yeah.
And then Supersport went under.
Yes.
Just like the Durban City. He's one of the coaches now.
He
in the
earned
league.
it. Did you not earn it?
No, but he's one of the coaches that is now complacent to know. He knows that
He has earned his preference.
it's like it doesn't matter. I'm
He
just
has
gonna.
earned the right to be preferred.
But the
Like,
question
he's
is,
been so long in the
I
industry.
hear
that
you guys. But what I'm saying is that's what keeps him at this level because he's scared to step out into places where he won't be preferred. And
I wonder if
So-
it's keep him at his
No,
level
check.
or that's what he wants.
No, he's gonna. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That he's complacent in that he knows that I can stay at the
But what
PSL
if
level.
there's no opportunities? Pela George, you don't sign yourself to a team. What
That's
if
the
he's never
thing.
been called like
No,
Coach
guys,
Milane?
this is what I'm saying. Nah, that's when you speak to your teams and you say, guys, prioritize getting me work outside. He's got agents, he's got all of that.
That's fair.
But for now, he knows that I can stay in the league.
That's fair.
There's no, let's be honest about our league. There's no requirement for you to go win the league. Outside of where? Sundowns Pirates right now. There's no requirement for you to go win the league. There's no requirement for you to go. You're not going to find a team that's going to spend 200 million rand rebuilding a squad right now. So he knows I can do the barest of minimums just off of my
And I
experience.
will have a job.
And I will have a job. I will get called. Abu Kaitano Tembo used to be like that. I will get the call in the league. He's
damn,
one of
where is
those
he?
guys.
Damn.
He's Zimbabwe. I think he's Zimbabwe coach now.
Okay.
But it's like that's when we want the coaches to go out. Like I feel like
And try
we want
themselves
coaches
out.
to, like
Come
break
alive.
the walls. You
Yeah.
get what I mean?
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you're waiting for the 16 jobs, go PSL. Shame. Not only are you competing with all of the foreign coaches that they like to bring in, you're also competing
with
with the stalwarts who
Yeah.
are always there. So it's always going to be a closed market. But if you can open yourself up, and say, okay, maybe Ramo Rebuli is in Botswana. Nobody wanted that job, right? Nobody would have wanted him to. He was coaching joining Galaxy. No one would have wanted him. Now, he's touched Champions League. Now, he's Botswana national team coach. He never would have had that route. And maybe he's making more money right now just because he went to a place where nobody liked.
That's the same thing in Kulma or Coach Rulani. He's going to Africa.
He's following. Coach Rulani, maybe it's because he's a superstar coach to me. Yes. Coach Rulani is a once-in-a-lifetime coach. He's not Ramo Rebuli, no disrespect. He's not Fadlu. He shouldn't be trekking in that place. Like I said, at that point, Rulani was one of the revered coaches in the world.
Yes.
Like people knew about him.
Yes.
I would be saying to my teams or people saying, guys,
you're saying Coach Rulani, he doesn't see his greatness.
Why is he suffering? Why is he suffering through all this? I think, and your time, but I think he had doors open to him that Coach Tentens would never have.
The thing is, but we don't really know the crux of.
For sure.
Even those opportunities, maybe that were overseas, were not making sense. But this one made, like you will never know unless Coach Rulani himself comes here and he tells it all as it is.
Yeah, look,
but
I'm not gonna lie.
It's a tricky one.
Because a superstar. To be honest, I feel like he deserves to be coaching somewhere, man.
Not deserve, you go.
I think the thing is, sometimes you learn from other coaches what not to do, or people in general what not to do. So maybe, yes, it's about striking while the iron is hot. And Coach Ranu was hot, right? But in the same breath, you look at Graham Potter. When Graham Potter was at Brighton, he was that guy, right? Possession, things are changing, on my word. Then he's hot, goes to Chelsea.
Why would you go to Chelsea?
Because the iron is hot.
I would never go to Chelsea.
But the iron is hot. Will you ever get an opportunity like that? Right? He went to Chelsea. He was hot, went to Chelsea. Went to Chelsea, Magaka. Right? Now, went to West Ham, now he's just, everyone forgot him as a coach. So maybe that's something that Coach Rulani would have been thinking as well. When you look at these things, you really want to strike while the iron is hot, but sometimes it's not the best move, like you were saying.
But guys, that's why me too. That's why guys, I think he makes career moves more than anything.
I don't think he makes career moves.
You think it's
either
money moves or career moves, Pat.
I think no, I'm not going to speak about that. But what I'm saying is, here's my thing, man. Graham Potter, objectively, when he signed for Chelsea, what was your thoughts?
It's not.
Niabuma in share 69.
What were your thoughts?
Look, it's not the best move. It's not wise. New ownership, it wasn't the best move. But when else will you have the opportunity?
That's the problem. Because you're jumping for that, not jumping for, I might not go this way. I might stay another year at Brighton and then Bayern opens up.
That's fair.
But anyway, for time. Guys, Presile, please let us know what you guys think in the comments. Remember, it's not just us speaking here. It's not just us being right. It's about you guys also telling us what you guys think, how you guys comment so that we can have more conversations and maybe open eyes and open other opportunities and other maybe things we don't know, Nati, that you guys can tell us there in the comments. That is why we call this a press. As Pressi Sisotwa, the whole team has to press. Coach Piicasso on this side, Football Telefang on this side. And then, of course, if you're looking for me, it's Overthinking Football. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Spresile, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Do all of those nice things. No Makoko. Say how Rulani should have gone to Egypt. It's fine.
Subscribe.
It's fine. Family WhatsApp group. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll see you on the next one. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.